done?
Oh,
Well, before we get started,
yes.
just kind of wanted to run through
Okay.
just a few little mantras.
Okay.
Again, I know that performing can be kind of a roller coaster, right? Sometimes you're really happy with your performances, sometimes you're not so happy with performances, and so I just want to take just a moment to remind everybody that whatever your performance is going to be today, it's going to be enough for this experience, right? Every performing opportunity, I think it's better to think about it as a learning opportunity instead of a test. And I just wanted to remind everybody just to kind of keep that in mind, that however much preparation you've put in is enough for today, for this performance, all right? So Michelle, you wanted to go first.
Yes.
Yes. And you're doing Mozart.
I'm doing Mozart 310, which is first move. Oh, the first.
What is 310? Sonata or?
A sonata.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the first section of the first movement.
Does not give me a page number. That's not helpful. Here we go.
I raised the question of whether the lid should be open that far in the States or not.
I'm not sure that it makes that much difference volume-wise. I think you just change the character of the sound.
Here we go. This is what I was looking for.
This is a resonant space.
Yeah.
There it is. 118.
Okay.
Okay.
I've only done 3. This is my third week of this.
Okay.
thing.
Awesome.
Oh. So. Thank you. 3 weeks, yeah, third week, yeah.
All right, I think this is an excellent start
Thank you.
for a newer piece. Really, really nice.
Well, Hanan helps, that's my years of learning. Hanan helps a lot with
There
this.
you go. I'm sure. Yeah, I think you have a lot of strengths going for you, namely that your pulse is incredibly steady.
Oh, good.
Which is awesome.
Okay.
To have that right off the bat, and I think that's going to serve you really well as you continue working on this.
Yeah,
piece.
because that's one of the, my kind of pet peeve with Achilles heel thingies, rhythm and pulse, etc. So,
No, I think your pulse is incredibly stable, which is great.
thank you.
So let's maybe just talk about, now that you have obviously a really, really good foundation,
Mhm.
maybe some things to think about moving forward
Mhm.
to kind of bring this piece to life a
Mhm.
little bit more. So Mozart was a composer of contrast,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
In Mozart, you're going to find lots of forte and piano.
Mhm.
You're going
Mhm.
to find slur and staccato. You're going to find lots of, very contrasting elements.
Mhm.
And that, bringing out that contrast
Mhm.
is what's going to just pump this piece full of life and
Okay.
character.
Mhm.
Okay, so, I've already named a few, right?
Mhm.
So dynamics is one way to create
Mhm.
contrast. Okay, articulation is one way to create
Mhm.
contrast. Can you think of any, or can anybody think of any other ways to create contrast within a piece besides dynamics and articulation?
Articulation.
Yeah, articulation was one of them for sure. What else?
Clearing pebble, or,
Yeah.
this is a really resonant room, so it's kind of hard to
Yeah,
tell.
Yeah.
Those would be my two go-to. I don't know. This would go along with dynamics, but just the feel of the character maybe could
Mhm.
change. So I don't know how that would go into dynamics, but expression.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think that character and dynamics are necessarily the same thing. So I think you're absolutely right. Yeah, so we have dynamics, we have articulation, we have pedal, we
Mhm.
have character, for sure. So let's maybe explore some different ways that we can bring that out. So let's start with just things that are printed on the page
Mhm.
itself, okay? So
There's very little, on it too.
it's true, Mozart didn't give us a lot
Yes,
to work with,
yes.
right? But what do we have? Okay, can you just point to the several dynamic markings that
Yeah,
you see?
so Allegro Maestoso, which
Okay.
is,
What I want you to do is to not tell us
Oh,
what's on the page. Can you
okay.
just point out to me
Oh.
the dynamics that you see?
right here, 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 here.
Okay,
Oh, and here also.
yes, so yeah, that one's really hidden, isn't it? So we have lots of those on this first page. So what I want you to do is I want you to maybe play through just that first page.
Mhm.
In fact, maybe let's even just,
The first second.
yeah,
Okay.
maybe up to here,
Mhm.
maybe. And I want everybody else to maybe pull out your phone or something that you can write on. And I want you to write down any of the dynamics that you hear. And when we're finished, we're going to see if what you wrote down matches
Mm-hmm.
what was written on the page.
Mhm.
Okay, we're going to see.
Oh, that's a good exercise, yeah.
Okay, so we'll give everyone just a second to get something that they can write with.
Right on the phone.
The notepad.
Notes. Or email,
Yeah, notes.
or text even.
Okay. Oh, now it's gonna make me,
Yeah, you can text Michelle.
Yeah, you can
Or
text
in
them.
our group text even.
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, so let's try it. stop right there. All right. So let's start with Amanda. What did you-
So, I mean, just starting off with how she started, I would say it was more of a mezzo forte level, and then she went down to pianissimo, I think.
Okay.
Or pianissimo, a little bit softer, and then back to mezzo forte, and then pianissimo again.
Okay.
Great. Piano.
Yeah. Tim, what did you hear?
Mezzo forte to piano to mezzo forte to mezzo piano.
Okay.
I had a mezzo forte to forte and back to mezzo forte and stayed there.
Interesting.
All right. So don't tell them yet
Mhm.
what is on the page.
Mm-hmm.
But I think in general, we can bring these out a little bit more.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I heard. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, for sure.
So we're going to try one more time. All right. And we're going to see if we can get a little bit closer to what's written on the page there. All right. What did we hear this time? Let's start with Amanda again.
I feel like she maybe, it's kind of started off at a mezzo piano and crescendo to a mezzo forte or almost a forte, and then again pianissimo, and then forte came out, and then kind of a mezzo piano at the end.
Okay. Tim?
Mezzo forte, mezzo piano forte.
Okay. And
Mezzo forte, piano forte, mezzo forte.
okay. So I think you did a really good job at bringing out that forte this
Mhm,
time.
mhm,
Could you hear the contrast a little bit
Mhm.
more that time? Good. Now, your edition doesn't have a dynamic at the
No.
beginning. Mine suggests forte
Mhm.
at the beginning.
Okay.
That's traditionally how I've heard it played. So can we try it one more time, and can we, let's maybe try starting forte again for the sake of creating more contrast. Forte, piano, forte, piano. forte, piano, forte structure there.
One thing I think might add to the piano is the incordata, because this is a very bright piano.
It's
Mhm,
true.
mhm,
And it's a very resonant space.
mhm.
So that is a good thing to consider. Maybe on the piano sections, maybe adding the
Adding the, okay.
that can help.
Mhm,
Yeah,
Take the edge off of it.
mhm,
exactly.
mhm.
Okay. So this is a really good exercise
Mhm,
that
yeah,
I would
for
recommend
sure.
to everybody.
Yeah.
Have
That's
somebody
helpful.
else write down the dynamics they're hearing, because more often than not, we're not projecting the dynamics as
Mhm.
clearly as we think we are. And sometimes it helps to have another set of ears to kind of verify that if what we think we're doing is what's actually coming across.
Mhm.
Good. Okay, so that's one way to create contrast, is by really, really bringing out those forte piano contrasts. Another way, like we mentioned, is with articulation. Okay, so right now I am hearing a difference between when you have slurs and when
Mhm.
you have staccatos. But
Mhm.
again, I think we could make that separation a little bit more
Mhm.
clear.
Mhm.
Okay, so there was one spot in particular that I was thinking of. Oh, it was right here. It was still on this first page. This part right here,
Mhm.
right, where we have these staccatos. Bum, bum,
Mhm.
bum, ba-dum,
Mhm.
ba, 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 ba-dum. So, I think how do I say this? There's a big difference between D staccatos
Mhm.
and T staccatos, is what I
Mhm.
call them. So, for example, everybody just kind of say da 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 da.
Mhm. Da, da, da,
Everybody say that,
da, 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 da.
right? There's separation there, but there's not really much bite to it.
Mhm.
Okay, now try with the T sound. Ta 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 ta.
Ta, 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 ta.
There's a little more separation
Mhm.
there.
Mhm.
So what I want you to try is having those T staccatos
Mhm.
rather than those D staccatos. Maybe just try right hand right here, and can we try ta 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 ba da ta. Nice. Yeah. Can you try that now the way you were doing it before?
Mhm.
Try
Oh.
just a little bit of
Okay.
separation between. Good. Now can we go back to this T staccatos?
Sorry.
Do you think you could get it a little bit shorter? Let's see.
Mhm. Sure. Mhm. Mhm.
Nice. Nice.
Mhm.
Yeah, so anytime you have
Mhm.
staccatos juxtaposed against slurs, we really, really want to bring
Mhm.
out that difference. Again, all for the sake of
Yeah,
creating
that's great. Yeah.
contrast.
Mhm.
Okay, let's go into pedaling, right? That
Okay,
can
yeah,
be
that's
another-
right. Mhm.
So I noticed that a lot of times, especially in the 16th note passages here, you kind of have your foot like halfway
Kind
on
of.
the pedal.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Does it feel scary?
Yes,
to play it
the
without
pedal is no good. You know, I'm not very good. I'm very hesitant with the pedal altogether.
Yeah, I feel the same thing. I feel like somehow just like more exposed when I'm
Mhm.
not playing
Right,
the pedal.
right, yeah.
And it can be a little bit scary, but again, we want to create those moments
Mhm.
of contrast.
Mhm.
And that's not to say we can never use pedal on
Mhm.
16th notes, but I think if we could have some moments where that pedal is filling in the sound,
Mhm.
making it really
Mhm.
lush, and then suddenly we have these dry moments out of nowhere,
Mhm.
that could be really effective. So, especially, I'm going to say when you have rests in
Mhm.
your left
Yes,
hand,
yes,
right? Because
yes.
we don't want
Yes.
any sound
Mhm.
lingering from before. So maybe, can we try this passage here?
Mhm.
And can you take the pedal completely off
Mhm.
on the rests?
I'm sorry.
Nice.
Mhm.
Yeah, feels scary,
Mhm.
but look what happened.
Mhm.
It was okay, right? Where are other spots on the page where you think you could utilize that contrast of just taking the pedal completely off?
Well, so here again,
Yes.
and there's some sections. So maybe doing a little bit of this too. The longer pedaling here, and I'm not sure whether.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. We have lots of
Yeah,
legato,
that's-
long
yeah.
notes in the left hand there. And then if we could suddenly take the pedal off right
Mhm,
here, I think
mhm.
it would be just kind of like a breath of fresh air.
Mhm.
Okay. Can we maybe, is this a good place to
Mhm.
start?
Yep.
So pedal all through those long notes, and then again, as soon as you get to the rest, take it off so that
Mhm.
that right hand can really sparkle.
Okay.
right on this
Okay.
wrist, instead of kind of gradually
Mhm.
lifting it off.
Sorry.
You're good, you're good. Let's try that again.
Okay.
Maybe
Mhm.
just a measure before. So that's what I would do instead of just kind of leaving the
Yep.
pedal
Okay.
halfway down through those passages. Just take it off.
Okay. Yeah, I've been focusing on the right hand, lifting up my,
Yeah.
right, and not doing the pedal part. Okay.
No,
Yep.
it's all good.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
What time are we at? Okay. We've got a few more minutes.
Okay.
All right. One more thing that is absolutely crucial in classical music are two-note slurs, right? What is just like the standard way to play a two-note slur?
So I've been working on down, up, down, push up a little bit. So it's supposed.
Yeah, so what we want, yeah, you're definitely on the right track. That down up motion, so that we can get a strong kind of sound, right? It's an incredibly difficult thing to do on the piano, right?
Especially with you playing it twice here and with that.
Yeah. So kind of the like motion that I associate with a two-note slur is a plie. I'm not a ballerina.
yeah.
I don't know how to dance ballet,
okay.
but I always think of that. I think that's what it is, where they like
Yes, a plie.
go
Yes,
like this,
yes.
right? That's kind of the movement I think of, where gravity's bringing
Down,
you down, and then a very light
Okay.
return. So
I can
where
work
was
with
that slur that you were playing?
Yeah, so it's over here.
Yes. Can we actually go to these ones just
Okay,
because they're
sure,
a little
of
longer
course.
and it's just gonna be a little easier for the first try. So so I could just try just left hand. Sorry, just
Sure.
right hand. Okay, so did those two beats sound different or did they
No,
sound the
it's
same
about
to
the
you?
same.
Same. Oh, that was nice. Lovely. Good. That's okay. We can just stick with these ones for now. Let's try that again. Nice. Yeah, I think you have room to go even farther with it. Try to make that second note almost like disappear. And again, it's really hard to do. Right? And what can help maybe is even if you do a tiny little crescendo into it. Sorry, it's probably too much. Right? It's tricky, but try to make that second one just almost disappear. Better. For a second, let's just not even be worried about notes not speaking. If they don't speak, that's okay. Okay? But I really barely want to hear that one. Nice. Yeah, okay. Let's do that again. And maybe since we're in a piano dynamic, maybe just soften the notes before just a little bit. Nice. Good. Can you give me? I know I'm being really picky and fussy right now.
No, that's great.
But let's try that again. bum. And can this be the note you lean on? Dum, bum, bum. Nothing. Da. Nice.
Mhm.
Okay. So. Nice.
Mhm.
Okay. So that's the
Okay.
level of
Yeah,
difference
yeah,
that
that's
I
great.
want
Yeah.
between the two notes.
Yeah, yeah,
of
that's great. Thank you.
The two note
Mhm.
slurs, right? Bum, bum, bum.
Mhm.
Like nothing on the second. And with time, as you
Mhm.
refine it, you'll be
Mhm.
able to
Mhm.
get
Yeah,
to
no,
a
that's
point
very helpful.
where
Thank
those
you.
notes do speak
Mhm.
consistently. But just keep that thought in mind.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
All right, I think
Appreciate it.
that's all I
Yeah, that was great. Thank you. Thank you so much. That was great.
Okay. Who wants to go next?
Don't go. Do you need this or?
I have the music.
This is a Rameau string trio, La Coupisse from Pièce de Clavecin. So this is a little different. Rameau, yeah. Wrong direction.
Does anybody know why that piano bench is so big? It's so.
It's a forehand bench. It,
For duets, I guess?
it's a forehand bench.
Maybe.
Yeah,
What that
that's
big?
why.
How'd you feel about that?
Eh,
Really?
yeah.
I thought that was
I,
one of
the
best
expression was better, but the notes still weren't there.
Really? I
Yeah.
was just gonna comment that I think that's the first time I've heard you do every single one of those like 30-second note runs without a pause. Every single one of those was clean,
Oh, okay.
even on the repeats.
Yeah. See, I don't know what's going on. Once I've done it, it's off.
That happens. I remember, yeah, sometimes people ask me like, oh, how'd you feel about that? I'm like, I don't remember it, so.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so really great job cleaning up those runs that we were working on Tuesday.
Hmm.
Those are sounding much better. And, yeah, I think expression-wise, I was hearing more than I've heard before.
Yeah.
Which is great. So, have you looked up what the title La Copisse means?
It's a dancer, isn't it?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
if I remember right, it's like the nickname for this famous dancer in France.
Oh, it's a person.
I think so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if I remember right, because I played this a few years ago, and I think I looked it up, and if I remember right, yeah, it was the nickname for this very prominent ballet dancer at the time. And so I wonder if there's more that we can do to capture the dance element of this,
Mhm.
and particularly like the ballet element of this that's behind it. So I don't know, just when you think of ballet, like what are words that come to mind that describe that art form?
Oh, all kinds of maneuvers.
Okay,
It's gotta have a predictable rhythm. It's gotta have a beat.
okay, so
You can't
beat
dance to it.
for sure. What else comes to mind?
I don't know. I'm just kind of empty at the moment.
That's okay, that's okay. Again, I'm not a ballerina, but I think a lot about lightness, right?
Lightness, okay.
How ballerinas always look like they're totally like weightless, right? Like they're light as a feather. Even though their muscles are working really, really hard, they have to make it look easy and
But then this sounds like a saraband.
It does.
So it sounds heavy.
And that was actually a kind of ballet dance,
Hmm.
right? It was,
But when we watched those movies in the Cinnabon,
Mm-hmm.
there was always the but then there was always a light little dunk, up,
Mm-hmm.
down kind of lifting, jumping even a little bit,
Yeah.
both feet coming up a little bit kind of stuff.
yeah, good point. How in a saraband, there's usually that emphasis on beat 2, right? And we hear that here. Ba, da, 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 da. 1, 2. But then, like David said, there's always a coming up.
Mm-hmm.
What goes down must come up, or whatever. And so I just want to explore some ways to lighten up the piece as a whole.
Okay.
Okay. So let's start with what David was kind of talking about kind of getting more of a feeling of lift in certain places. So, for example, like you said, this is kind of sarabandesque.
Mm-hmm.
So we do want that weight on beat 2. Dum, bum. But after that, we want it to come up. Okay? So maybe can you just try the melody and again, emphasize beat 2, dum, ba, da, da, and then back off. After
Yeah,
that.
because a lot of these slurs end on beat 2. Well,
On the and of 2.
yeah,
It's not quite on beat 2,
okay,
right? So can we try just right hand?
okay.
Nice. Beautiful. Yeah, keep going. You're doing great. Oh, try that one again. Try it from there. Yeah, that's better. Now let's see if we can do that with the left hand. So again, really think about emphasizing this and then just lifting up off of the rest of the melody.
Okay.
Let's stop right there. Did you hear the lift in his sound? Some. Do you think we can do more?
Probably.
Let's try that.
Okay.
Especially, I'm going to say on these notes here. Really back off here.
Okay.
Okay, how was that?
Is the lift part written as the end of a two-note slur?
Yes.
Because he's going down.
All right. So.
Yeah,
maybe
it's
there's
it's
more-
confusing
Yeah,
because
I understand, but
the
it's
slur
got down
the
now.
slur ends on the second beat.
Yeah, but it's
It
not
doesn't
going
quite
up.
end on the second beat. It ends on the and of 2. All right.
You think
1,
if you
2,
ghosted the
and.
second beat, it would help with the like lifting,
Can't hear you.
practicing, like ghosting that second beat, that lift, ghosting it instead of playing it, just to kind of get a lighter touch. Might help.
Going
Yeah,
up
we could try that.
forward.
Maybe just try this 2-note slur here and try just first ghosting that second beat. Yeah, I think like that's the level of lightness that we're going for.
Okay.
What we want to avoid is all of the beats sounding the same. right?
Yeah.
Because that sounds rigid and wooden, and we want it to sound, you know, more fluid, more elegant, lighter, like a ballet dancer.
Okay.
Right? Sorry, I didn't do that well. Right, that gives a little bit of dimension to that melody. Can we try that again? And again, just really think of not making each of these sound exactly the same.
Okay.
Good. The second one was better. Can we try to make both of them sound like that? And can your left hand also kind of mimic the shape that you're doing? So come off lighter on these notes
Okay.
after the two note slur. That was nice. Really nice. That was
It's hard to
gorgeous.
do.
It is.
It's Rameau.
What really throws me off is the slurs that end on the second beat and the first beat accent.
It's kind of a weird melody,
Yeah.
right?
It's like the beginning of the slurs on a first beat, so you'd think it'd be hard, but I don't want to pound it.
It's kind of a hard piece to interpret, right?
Yeah, it is.
It sounds like a saraband, but it doesn't say that it's a saraband.
Yeah.
And so maybe we should emphasize the second beat, but there's also these two note slurs on the first beat, so maybe we should emphasize those.
Mhm.
It's kind of a messy piece to interpret in that way. But I think what you just barely did was really effective.
Okay.
That was really nice.
Hopefully the recording will show it.
All right. Now, one other thing that I want to talk about in order, again, to kind of increase the lightness
Mhm.
of the piece is to lighten up your ornaments. I noticed that sometimes when you have an ornament, it's kind of louder than everything around it.
Mm.
And I wonder if we can lighten up on some of those as well.
Okay.
I don't know, you can pick a spot. Where are some spots where you're adding ornaments here and there?
First beat here.
Good. That one I think it's okay because you're emphasizing it anyway. But maybe let's go.
You have someplace in mind, so just go there.
Well, I have several places
Okay.
in mind, but if there was one that you wanted to look at in particular. Let's maybe go to this passage right here. There's a few ornaments in here. Can we maybe just start right on that?
So,
Yeah, so did you hear how that ornament kind of stuck out a little bit? That was better. Can you actually just play this whole passage, maybe from here to here? Nice. So some of those were better. Like this one right here was really nice. These ornaments, we don't want them to interrupt the line of the phrase. Right? I think that's another big important concept in ballet is the concept of lines,
Mhm.
right? You want, people's arms and torsos and legs, right, to all have these really straight, clean lines.
Mhm.
And, you don't want like an elbow sticking out or a knee sticking out. That's going to interrupt those nice straight lines. And I think we kind of want the same thing here. So with these ornaments, try not to draw too much attention to them and let them fit in the overall line of the phrase. Instead of. Right. So can we try that one more time with that idea in mind? Don't let the ornaments interrupt the line of the
Okay.
phrase. Don't let them stick out, but just let them kind of fit into the overall contour of the melody.
Okay, I'm just gonna do the right hand with
Okay.
this.
Nice.
That was loud.
Yeah, how'd that sound? Really, really nice. Can we try that same thing with both hands now? Just to make sure. Yeah, that was really
It
lovely.
was better, okay.
Check what time we're at. Okay. Okay, let's try that in one other passage. Now I'm forgetting what this was. Never mind. I forgot what I had in mind. Okay, let's move on to one more thing. And that's this middle passage, just right here.
Mhm.
How many melodies are going on that line?
There are 3 parts going on.
Good. 3 parts. Which parts have melodic lines?
Really, all of them do.
Yeah, I guess that's true. We're still kind
But
of in the Baroque era, so
well,
everything sounds
the,
melodic.
the soprano and the bass have probably the biggest ones. Although the tenor is like,
That's true. Maybe my question of which line has a melody was not the best question because they all have beautiful melodies.
yeah.
What I'm getting at is what I want to hear is this duet happening. Dum bum 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 dun dun dun.
The duet between what and what?
Between this soprano line
Mhm.
and this alto line here.
Oh, okay.
Right, so we have. Do you hear those 2 lines
Yeah.
going on at once? I want to hear that interacting as a duet. So, how do we make that happen? How do we make that sound like a duet rather than one kind of continuous melodic?
Well, I thought of this as a soprano line here, and they're down stems.
Yes, exactly. So this is one voice, the ones with
Okay.
stems pointing up. This is another voice with stems pointing down. Yeah, that to me sounded more like a duet, and I think the reason why is because you're emphasizing the entrances a little bit more.
Okay.
So if you can emphasize this entrance, this entrance, this entrance, this entrance, I think we'll hear that as 2 melodies intertwining rather than one kind
Okay.
of jagged melodic line.
All of which start on the first beat, by the way.
Yes. So can we try that? So just emphasize this, 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 and this.
Okay. Yeah, it's, what did you hear and what didn't you hear?
When you were doing just your right, playing it all with your right hand, I could hear soprano, alto. This, I'm hearing more soprano, tenor, and not hearing the alto clearly demarcated.
So maybe we need a little bit more alto.
Okay.
Less
Can we
than-
try that again? How was that?
Same voice. It changed character, it didn't change character between the soprano and the.
It's
You had it when you were playing one hand, it was.
Yeah,
It's
But it
really
goes away.
tricky to do, right? To
Yeah.
make these both like sound like different voices,
Yeah.
but also to be able to hear both of them equally, right?
Well, it's just so hard to put everything together.
oh, I think I see a way to do this.
Okay.
I don't know if I can do this two-handed.
You inverted the voices. You're playing the soprano and you're playing the alto louder. When you were doing it one-handed, it was the opposite. It was da-da, da-da.
Well, I was trying to emphasize the alto, because the alto doesn't come into till the second measure.
Okay, well, all right, well, just earlier when you were doing it with just the one hand and it sounded so cool, the alto was quieter than the soprano, and you've inverted that here. So I don't know what you want, but that's the difference I hear.
Can we try something?
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe what we need a little bit more of is, can you voice the thumb a little more on
Yeah,
this
that's-
entrance and this entrance?
Yeah.
Just so that we can hear clearly that a new voice is entering the picture. And again, I can't do this with one hand right now, but so we get something more like. So we get something more like. Again, I'm cheating because I'm using two hands. It's
Yeah,
way easier to do
yeah.
that two-handed. But can we just try emphasizing so that we hear those alto entrances maybe a little more clearly? That was nice. Okay. Can we try that now, two-handed? See if you can still make those entrances really clear.
It just gets lost.
It's a tricky passage, and this is something that might take a little bit of time to wrestle with, and maybe not something that can be fixed in 5 or 10 minutes, right? But I think just the first step is just being aware that that duet is present, so that that's what your ear is listening to.
There's a little something there. What does that mean? Because it's here also, and there.
I don't know. I don't know. What
So I
that means.
wonder if it's some kind of articulation indicator. It's a little parenthesis signed type thing that at the beginning of the note. I just noticed this.
I don't know. Well, look it up and let me know in our
Yeah.
next lesson. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that before. Okay, we probably need to end there.
Okay.
But great work.
Yeah, nice job.
Let's That was really nice and
Thank you.
lots of really impressive, it's like musical moments.
Thank you.
Especially on that second page, that part where you got like pianissimo all of a sudden. Did anybody else notice that? Part towards the end where he just got like pianissimo.
The end or at the top of the page?
It's the second page.
Yes. This up here where,
Right here.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
really, really nice. I think you're playing this very musically. I'm hearing a lot of the, swells and everything. It's really, really nice.
thank you.
So, I think what I would like to hear a little bit more of is just I'd like to hear the phrase structure a little more clearly. And what I mean by that is I'd really like to be able to tell as a listener where phrases are beginning and ending.
So are you telling me I rush them at the end of one to the next, or?
Not
or just
necessarily.
The dynamic?
I think it's mostly, more than anything, just a sense of awareness.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
I don't know. Do you like to read?
Mm-hmm.
What's one of your favorite books?
Oh, good grief, I don't know, I read all of them. I read
Well,
constantly. I read-
What's something you've read recently?
I've read some axe murders.
All right,
Murder
nice.
mysteries, really good.
Great. So what if you were to read those books without any punctuation?
Oh, yeah, okay, yes,
That would be,
yeah, Greek.
right, and like you could probably like piece together what's happening, but it wouldn't,
Okay,
it would be more difficult, right, to kind of follow the storyline. So that's what I'm getting at here, is I want to kind of carve out, okay, where are the sentences in this piece, or in music terms, where are the phrases, and how can I make it really clear when a musical sentence is beginning and when a musical sentence is ending, so it can be really easy for my listener to follow
Okay.
the piece and the structure of the piece. So I'm gonna grab a pencil real quick. Yes, sorry. Little voice.
as long as she doesn't grab a ruler.
Just a pencil. So what I would like to do first is just kind of demarcate on the page where the phrases are.
Okay,
Okay? So these first two measures, those are just kind of like a little introduction, right?
yeah, right to here, really. Actually, it starts, the next phrase really starts there. Don't you think that's there? No?
I would
You
argue
don't
that the
hear it?
melody comes in here.
Okay.
But let's see what our audience thinks. I just want you to raise your hand when you hear the beginning of what sounds like a phrase to you.
Where do you want me to start?
Just from the beginning. So I think all three of them raise their hand right here. So I think this is where our melody starts. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to darken this line.
Just draw like a phrase line at the top. Or where, okay, go ahead, whatever you want.
This is how I do it, just to kind of minimize
Okay,
distracting markings on the page. But I'll just mark it. I'll just darken the measure line
okay,
a little bit.
okay.
Okay. Now, how long do you say this phrase goes?
It's a mini phrase, to me it's here, and then the bigger one comes over to here. So, I mean, it's.
I think that makes sense. So we have kind of a little mini phrase that ends maybe right here.
Yeah, I think it ends on that one, yeah.
Okay.
I think, that's
Great.
kinda how I hear it, but yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. So we have da 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 dum, and then a new idea da 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 dum. Whatever.
And then, yeah,
Okay, great.
Yep.
All right, next phrase.
this almost breaks into, some
Yeah.
little ones too.
You can read it
It's
either
kinda-
way,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
It can
exactly.
either be
Yeah,
two
it's kinda
smaller
like
phrases.
Two smaller and a bigger across the all
Yeah,
of them.
there's different ways you can
Yeah.
interpret it for sure. But I I think that makes sense to me. So ending maybe
Yeah,
right here.
and then
Those ornaments sound like they should be part of the accompaniment too. They're too loud.
okay,
But they're-
I agree. I think those ornaments could be more in the background.
all right.
But let's try up to that point, okay? And now that we have these phrases marked, I want each one to sound different, right?
Okay.
It's boring to read a story that says, once upon a time there was a princess, once upon a time there was a princess, once upon a time there was a princess, right? We want to say something different with each sentence to kind of form a narrative. So can we start from the beginning one more time? And can this phrase sound different from this phrase and sound different from this phrase? How did that sound?
Much better.
Do you hear a difference between those phrases? And you could tell where they were too, right? It was a very clear, like, this is one phrase, this is a new phrase, this is another. Okay? So why don't we keep going with this idea, maybe just for a few more lines, and then I'll let you kind of.
Where do you want me to start?
Well, let's first kind of outline where our phrases are.
Oh, okay.
So we've ended here,
Yeah, it starts, the new one
Okay.
actually starts here.
starts on that
Okay,
pickup.
and it goes into the Marcato stuff
Okay.
that goes across. And then it's actually gonna come all the way across, golly.
This is kind of a long one.
Yeah, well, actually, this starts the subphrase, if you will. So it's like here.
Okay, and then we're at a new phrase. Okay.
There could be a breath in the middle of that.
Yeah,
Okay, so we've got a phrase that goes from here, and then how long does this one go to?
right here.
Okay, right here.
No, there.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. Ends on that one. Yeah.
Okay, so, and then I would say that this is kind of the end of a bigger section, right?
Mhm,
Because then we
yes,
have the
it
return
changes
of
yeah.
that. So, let's start with that section first, okay? And let's try to make these phrases distinct. And then we're back into our main thing. Okay, great. So now that we kind of know this phrase structure, all right, of this first section, we can also kind of start plotting the general direction of the section as a whole, okay?
Mhm.
So out of all of these phrases that we've marked off, which one would you say is the climax of that section?
Right here, this part. It starts building pretty big with this Marcato
Mhm.
section, and then this kind of gets a little, and wraps it up. So.
Yes, I agree. We get really high right here. We've got a
Right.
crescendo. So that's going to be kind of the climax of the section as a whole. So can we start now from the beginning and just play that first section?
Okay.
And in addition to making each phrase sound different, can you make it really clear that this is where the section is building to?
Okay.
Let's try.
Actually, I think maybe it's going to end right here. It's probably even though it's not the highest, but we'll see. Let me try it.
Okay. sense,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Okay, so this is something that I would recommend doing throughout the piece, and honestly with any piece. Just identify where the phrases are so you can, one, make each of them sound different, and two, kind of understand the structure of the piece as a whole and bring that out for your audience. Just identifies those climax points in each section. So there's always something that we're building to, right? That's what makes music exciting, is when we're building to a moment or when we're backing off from a moment. So we always want some kind of direction either way.
Okay, that makes good sense, yes.
Great. Okay, great, we've got time. All right. The other thing I wanted to address is what Tim was talking about, and that is that some of your ornaments do kind of pop out of the texture a little too much. And just like we were working on with Tim, we want those to fit the line of the phrase rather than kind of stick out. So we've been working on that first section. So maybe let's move on. And what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to actually ask you to do it the wrong way first. So let's start here, and I really want you to overemphasize all of the ornaments. Yeah, it's going to sound funny, but
Where I lost myself.
let's stop right there. All
Yes,
right.
please.
I know. Sometimes though, feeling it the wrong way is
Yeah.
helpful for understanding what
Yeah.
the correct way is. So now let's try it again and just keep those ornaments.
What am I doing? I'm sorry.
Okay, how do those ornaments sound?
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can still hear them. They're still there and they're still interesting, but
Okay.
they're interesting on their own. We don't need to do anything else to them other than just let them be.
Okay.
Good. All right. What was the other section?
There's a bunch of sections on the second page.
Totally blinking. I don't know where it is.
Oh, I do that when I perform all the time.
Don't talk
It's what unites us as human beings.
Yeah.
Okay. Totally forgetting.
This is the quiet part with these rhythms. Oh my God. It goes on, that figure appears throughout in the second page. It's some of it over here too, but down
Okay.
here and all that stuff.
Why don't we
Yeah.
start right at that quiet section?
I don't like that.
Yes, let's stop you tend to have just a slight hesitation in between each of these measures.
Okay.
It's very, very subtle, but I think it prevents the line from moving maybe as much as it could. There you go. Yeah, you just fixed it. That was great.
Okay.
Awesome. Yeah, so just be careful
So,
not to
yeah,
get
I was
stuck.
intentionally taking time there, so
Oh,
you're
okay.
saying don't, so,
So
okay,
I think it's okay to take time, but not every time,
okay,
right? If we do it every time, it just sounds like you're uncertain. But
okay,
if
yeah.
you do it in like one key moment, then it sounds intentional. So maybe let's choose a
Yeah.
moment to take time. Where in this phrase does it feel like?
Well, to me, I mean, it sounds like little sub-phrases to me. Right there, then. Inside of an echo. Then this, even though it's tied or slurred, it's starting now. So each one of those is a break in my head, so.
I see what you're saying. So let's maybe just
If
pick
it
a
doesn't sound good, let's change it.
Let's pick a few strategic spots to do that rather than doing it every time, so
Okay.
it doesn't.
Okay.
Because to me, I was getting the impression that you were uncertain
Yeah.
in that section, and that's not the impression that you want to give.
Right.
So, is there a point where both melodies start at the same time at all?
Well, I mean, this is just a figure. It's not really got a melody, other than this, down. But these two are more similar in character, and then these are kind of different. This one's kind of on its own. So it's like. That's the call and echo that.
I like that, what you just did.
Oh, good. Did you write it down?
Well, well, what I liked, so I guess thinking
I
through
broke
it.
it this, and then this. I did it as three.
So thinking through it, I think the reason that these pauses between the bar lines are not quite convincing me is because the melody continues over the bar line.
Right.
Da, 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 dum.
Yes,
And if-
right. And I actually start the phrase here.
Right, and
Yeah, the echo
If
is
we
here.
have-
This is the echo here.
right,
Yeah.
and if we have da 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 dum bum, it kind of interrupts the melody a little
I
bit.
see.
But here, I really like that you took time because both of the melodies kind of reset at the same time, right? We have da 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 dum, ba da 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 dum, and both melodies are kind of on the same page
Okay.
again.
So take time here
Yeah, so maybe
and don't
just
here I have a
Okay,
universal
yeah, you can-
symbol from take a breath is this.
there you
Okay.
go, awesome.
So, but here you're saying to make sure this comes across, but I am giving a little time between that and this here.
I think that's fine. I think we just don't want to interrupt the melody going over the bar line.
And then time here. So maybe just make sure you agree.
Yeah, let's try this. This is my preference. I would go through all of this, but at the same time, you're the one that's playing it, not me, so you can do whatever you want. And again, these are really nitpicky interpretive details, and at the end of the day, you're the performer and you can call the shots.
Okay.
But to me, it makes sense to move through this and then take a little bit of time when
Okay,
the melodies restart
okay,
together.
okay. I'll
But-
try it. Okay.
You can ignore everything I say after this is done if you want. Okay,
Thank you.
I think that's all I have for you.
Okay,
Really
thank
great performance.
Thank you.
Sounded Dr. Getchuk sent it to you, so I do have it.
Do you want the music? Are there any copies?
Look at it. Lynn?
Okay, this is really out of my comfort zone, y'all. It's new, it's not set up like it's very open, it's not like wonderful or romantic. The expectations are pretty low.
Oh, but it's got your personality written all over it. Extremely fragile, gentle, and delicate.
Oh, thank you. We'll see how that comes out. Anyway, I'm just hoping I can get through it with my nerves here. We'll see how it goes. Wish I could do it over.
What a beautiful performance.
Oh,
That
thank
was,
you.
thank you for introducing me to this piece too. This is not one that I'm familiar with.
Oh,
my
thank you.
gosh, that was so beautiful. You played so expressively.
Oh, thank you.
I felt like there was intention behind every single note. Did you get that impression at all? Just, it sounded like, you know, you weren't just like letting the notes pass by, but you were really, really thinking and listening and again, just being very intentional about how you want each note to sound. And that comes through, and that really was just a stunning performance.
Oh, thank you. Even with a few little flaws and some crucial moments, but thank you.
Honestly, like,
I tried.
couldn't tell. Like, I think you did a great job at just like walking past them. I don't know. I've been watching the Olympics a lot recently, and I've been watching like figure skating a lot.
Yeah.
And what's so impressive to me is how these skaters like can fall on a jump and just like get right back into it.
Yeah.
Right? And I think like, you know, that's kind of the attitude we need to have as pianists, is like, you know, even these world-class Olympic skaters fall sometimes. Even world-class pianists make mistakes sometimes. But the important part is to develop the skill of just like walking past that mistake.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Without getting like emotionally attached to it.
Yes.
The other part of that that's interesting is they tend to get penalized the most when they hesitate on things that they're supposed to be doing.
Right. Rather than going for it.
Right, rather than
and falling, right. Okay, good. So let's hop into a few things. Again, there's already so many beautiful things that you're doing with this already. I love how you crescendo on these. Da 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 da. That's always really, really nice.
Thank you.
So we're gonna try some silly things.
Okay.
And it's gonna feel weird, but I think it will help you dig even deeper.
Okay.
So again, this is gonna sound silly, but I want you to think of a facial expression that you would associate with each of these phrases. Okay, so maybe let's just start with maybe just like the first section, so maybe up to here.
Okay.
Okay, so it looks like we have, these phrases are a lot more easy to find than David's phrases because they're nicely marked, right? But we want to go with, you know, trying to make each phrase sound a little different.
Okay.
Okay, so just think in your head, you don't even have to like show us on your face, but just a different facial expression that you would associate with each of those phrases. Okay, so just take a few minutes to think, and then just let me know when you're ready. Okay. And now what's gonna happen is we're all gonna turn around so that we're not watching you. And I want you to play making each of those facial expressions
Okay.
with each phrase. And I want you to see like how it changes, or if it changes. It might not,
Okay.
but we're just experimenting here. If it changes the way you play and the way you feel it. So
Okay.
feel free to make all the facial expressions you want.
there. I was getting a little bit caught up
okay.
with my emotions.
That's okay. That's okay. Okay. How did that feel?
The beginning part felt good because I was more secure with the notes. But I do feel like it helped. It helped with the color and the expression, and actually enjoy the piece more because I wasn't so worried about the notes. I was having more fun.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, on the listener side, how was that a different listening experience?
It really moves through clearly defined emotional states.
Yeah.
You know, you could feel things evolving, interacting, and actually feels like it was resolving at the end into some kind of resolution of whatever the initial trigger, is.
Yeah.
Any other comments?
One thing I noticed is that you're kind of not taking advantage of some of the slurs in here.
Okay.
They're, you'll accent the last note of the slur, or not crescendo up to like 3/4 of the way through the slur. I think that would help.
Is that it's starting from the very beginning?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think one of the things is that alto voice is supposed to be really, really quiet and to bring the melody out. And sometimes the soprano voice gets lost in the alto land.
Yeah. That happens.
So I'm wanting to do that, Tim. I'm just not quite there yet. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, for me, again, your first performance was beautiful, as it was. But that time, again, I heard you saying something different with each phrase.
Okay.
And that kept me really engaged as a
Okay.
listener, because I was, instead of thinking like at the beginning, oh, like this is a nice calm piece, and then kind of zoning out for the rest of it, like I wanted to know what you were gonna do next with each phrase, and so I kept listening, right? So that can just be a helpful exercise, just to kind of help you dig even deeper and draw even more emotion and like different colors and different emotions out of your playing.
Okay.
Sorry, just check time here. Another exercise that I like to do to help a little bit with just like nerves is pretending that I'm my favorite pianist.
Okay.
Do you have a favorite pianist? Anybody that you listen to?
I don't know. You know who I've been listening to a lot? And speaking of remote, his name is Vikingur.
Vikingur Olafsson?
Oh, yeah, I like his playing. Yeah.
I love his playing.
Yeah.
He's coming to Houston.
Is he
in
really?
April.
I haven't watched him, but I love listening to him. But as a performer, of course, Lang Lang and Martha Argerich, I mean, you wouldn't even know. It's like she could be stirring soup. I mean, from the other end, she's so calm. And like, I don't know. I feel like I'm more a Lang Lang than a Martha Argerich.
Okay.
But,
Well, let's pretend for a second that you're Lang Lang.
okay.
If Lang Lang was playing this, what would he do, like with his body language, with his face? Like, what would he do to like portray, like, yes, I'm Lang Lang and I can play this, right? Again, we're gonna turn around, and I just want you to pretend, just give yourself permission to just be Lang Lang. All right, we're not gonna watch. We're not gonna look.
Okay. Let me start over. That's hard. It's hard to do that because I'm trying to be a character. And okay.
You're good. You're good. We're just experimenting. We're
think it's helpful. I like the character. I think I enjoyed doing the characters and being my own self.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I was getting caught up in trying to be like the performer. And yeah, but I can see how that would be helpful for sure. Yeah, just kind of getting out of your head. And I get in my head so much. Yeah, the nerves are definitely something I'm working on.
It's almost sounded like two different pieces that as you played before, and this is totally different.
Really?
Totally different dynamic, just the range is very different.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
You were better than Lang Lang.
Yeah.
Aw.
I agree. No.
Aw,
And no, I do want you to play it how you would play it. I'm not asking you to change your interpretation to try and copy somebody else. I do want you to do what feels right for you.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is a helpful, just like practice tool to
Yeah.
just like practice feeling confident in yourself,
Yeah.
right? Because if you just pretend for a second, I'm Martha Arkwrich, I'm Blang Blang, I'm whoever, just getting in that mindset of like, yeah, I got this, I can do that, and just practicing that mindset in and of itself,
Yeah.
I have found to be helpful when I've practiced so often being in my head and thinking, I can't do this.
Right, right.
So that's just another helpful practice strategy, just kind of like a psychological practice strategy that
I find it so psychological. You know, what I can execute in the practice room is completely different than what I perform. I'm getting better at it, but I'm trying to get out of my head. I love the characters though. I think because I love to read, and you know, I can see the characters in the music. So I like that idea
awesome.
of doing an emotion for each section.
Yeah, I found that helpful for me. I mean, I've had teachers that say like, hey, think of an image or whatever, and I'm definitely more of a words person.
Yeah.
So for me, just like even assigning like a word to each section is also a helpful thing.
Okay.
for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. This is really stunning, and honestly, I don't know if I have anything else to say. I think you're playing this really, really beautifully.
Thank you.
So, yeah, I
Okay.
think maybe we can end a little bit early.
Awesome.
But yeah, really beautiful. Great job, everybody.
Thank you
honestly,
so much.
really wonderful performances.
Very helpful.
Yes.